Hey there, this is Pastor Dan, and this is our Friday reflection. It's Friday. Boy, where does the time go? It was like just Friday, just 7 days ago. My parents made it back to Pennsylvania safely. Life is such an adventure. Found out my tractor has a broken frame, and so it's a problem. God brought us someone who could do some welding on the church lawnmower. One of the wheels fell right off. You know, there are lots of things that go wrong in our lives, health issues, people challenges. But you know, also there are things that God has done to take care of us. You know, we're starting into this month, and I don't have anybody yet who said, hey, I want to share a testimony. And maybe God would like you to share a testimony. Now, sharing a testimony is talked about in the scriptures sort of directly. In Psalm 66:16, the psalmist says, "Come and listen, all you who fear God. Let me tell you what he has done for me." What is it that God has done for you? How did you come to follow Jesus in the first place? What made him interesting to you? What was going on in your story when you noticed God's tremendous love for you and what he offered you? How did Jesus step into your life? Who was involved in that story, and how did they influence you? And then after following Jesus, what happened? Was your life all rainbows and candy and bonbons and chocolate cake? Or did you have some troubles? I know I had my share of troubles. Some of them I caused, some of them other people caused, some of them probably didn't have any cause. What about your testimony? Not just what has happened lately, but how did you come to fall in love with Jesus? Or as you've discovered who he was, how did you find yourself feeling like where you are right now? You know, not everybody's journey with Jesus is all straight line. Often it's a little this way and a little that way, a little this way, a little up, a little down. But we all have, if we've come into a relationship with Jesus, something we can say about something he's done in our lives. You know, maybe you would consider reaching out to me. This Psalm 66 is an interesting text that talks about how God has preserved the life of the people of Israel, how he's overshadowed them, how he's protected them, how they've gotten to places where they've been desperate and they've called out to him and he's responded. I hope during August, as we share some of these testimonies, that people like you will share how God has touched your life. And when people hear that story, that they will say, you know, God is doing something in my life too. What about you? Would you give me a call, reach out to me today and send me a text or a note and say, hey, Pastor Dan, I'd love to share a testimony of how I came to know who Jesus was. And if you're nervous about it, you can write it all down, put it in a paragraph. I'll be glad to read it. We could set up a time where we could take a video and you could share your story that way. I'd be glad to just interview you and ask some questions, and you can just tell us your responses, and we'll do it in a way that maybe even you'd be comfortable, where it wouldn't be too scary. August is a month where we're going to talk about our stories of how God has impacted our lives. Come and listen, all you who fear God, and let me tell you what he has done for me. First Alliance Church is a great place to be. I hope that you will come on Saturday to our Young Entrepreneur event that's being hosted at our church by Cheyenne and Don and their team with the young entrepreneurs. Or come out for produce on Saturday. Come out and get some coffee. And then, of course, come and celebrate with us for worship on Sunday as we remember the Lord's Supper and also sing and pray and remember what God is doing in our lives these days. God bless. This is Pastor Dan at First Alliance Church. First Alliance Church is a great place to be.